can see myself. No need. Okay, thank you so much. Oh. Om Banza Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Bandra Sato Denova, Dedadedum. Sudo Kayo Membawa, Subo Kayo Membawa, Anorado Membawa, Sarvasedim. Sawakarma Sosame, Zedan Shriya Guru, Hunga Ha Ha Ha. Sarva Tata Gadra Badra Mame Mosambar Zembawa Ma Samaya Sato. Om Badra Sato Samaya Mano Balaya Badra Sato Denoba Dedo Dedo Sudo Kaya Membawa Subo Kaya Membawa Anorado Membawa Sarva Siddhi Sarva Karma Sudame Zeta Shriya Guru Hua Sarva Tata Gadra Badra Mame Mosambar Zembawa Ma Samaya Sadhu. Okay, first please take a deep breath. Inhale fully. Exhale. Please inhale fully. And exhale. Now, third time, please inhale all the Buddha's wisdom, loving kindness, bodhicitta into us. And exhale all our negativities. Okay, thank you. Today in the afternoon, this I thought if we could do this short Guru Yoga. Do you have that copy with you? The copy of the short Guru Yoga? It's called the Guru Yoga that brings the Dhammakaya onto the path. Everybody has that. So we do this just in English. La. Okay. La. Okay. First we chant the refuge in bodhicitta. So we were chanting in English. Cultivate our meditation practice. Vajradhara Lama, embodiment of three jewels, I take refuge in you, and will until attain enlightenment. Sentient beings, victim of confused projection suffering, I generate the mindset for enlightenment in order to establish you all in the non-abiding state. Vajradhara Lama, embodiment of three jewels, I take refuge in you and will until I attain enlightenment. Sentient beings, victim of confused projection suffering, I generate the mindset for enlightenment in order to establish you all in the non-abiding state. Vajradhara Lama, embodiment of the three jewels, I take refuge in you and will until I attain enlightenment. Sentient beings, a victim of confused projection suffering, I generate mindset for enlightenment in order to establish you all in the non-abiding state. And then next, the visualization. Lord Vajradhara Jigdasungun, you sit on a seat of the 10th strength, 4 fearlessnesses, and 18 unmixed dharmas. Your major and minor marks of love, compassion, and bodhicitta radiates ray of light, and your non-conceptual enlightened activities reach all migrators equally. Moirana Shere Sarawai Sedemu Moirana Shere Sarawai Sedemu Moirana Shere Sarawai Sedemu Moirana Shere Sarawai Sedeu 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 Siddhum Umaranashir Saravai 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 Siddhum. You are the Buddha, Nagakuladhara Dipa, and the Bamkara of the past, Maitra of the future, and the Shakyamuni of the present, the reincarnation of Nagarjuna, the peerless Rana Shiri, Lord Chikten Sungkun, I supplicate you. You are the Buddha, Nakakula Paradipa, and the Bamkara of the past, Maitra of the future, and the Shakyamuni of the present, the reincarnation of Nagarjuna, the peerless Ranashiri. Lord Chikten Sungkun, I supplicate you. You are the Buddha, Nagakula Paradepa, and the Bamkara of the past, Maitra of the future, the Shakyamuni Buddha of the present, the reincarnation of Nagarjuna, the peerless Ranashiri. Lord Chikten Sungkun, I supplicate you. Now next, the recipe, the empowerment. Light rays emanate from the Lama's body, speech, and mind, and dissolves into my four places, thereby purifying the four obscurations, destroying the four empowerments, and planting the seed of the four kayas. The Lama then dissolves into me, into myself, and my mind is now natural luminosity, emptiness. Now maybe I'll briefly lead the meditation. So from Lord Chikten Sungkun's forehead, white light, a nature of the wisdom body radiate into your forehead, dissolves your entire body, purifies all the physical obscurations, negative karma related to the body, and receive the vase empowerment and plant the seed of the Nirmana Kaya. From Lord Chikten Sungkun's throat, a red light, the wisdom nature of the old Buddha, radiate, dissolve at your throat, purifies all the obscurations, negative karma related to our speech, and receive the wisdom empowerment. The light pervades our entire body, and we receive the secret empowerment, plant the seed to achieve the Sambhoga Kaya. And then from Lord Chikten Sungkun's heart, blue light radiate, the wisdom nature of all the Buddhas, dissolve into our heart, purifies all the obscurations, negative karma related to our mind. Meditate our mind as nature of this space and receive the wisdom empowerment and plant the seed to achieve the Dhammakaya. And then from navel object yellow light radiate or emanate, which is the nature of all the Buddha's complete wisdom nature, dissolved at our navel, purifies the obscurations of the body, speech, mind. Receive the blessings of all the Buddha's wisdom, body, speech, mind, and receive the fourth empowerment. Plant the seed to achieve the Swabhavika Kaya. Then after this, Lord Chitosung, with the great wisdom, compassion, dissolved into light that dissolved into us from our forehead, pervades our entire body, speech, and mind. And we just nothing but nature of the enlightened nature, unfabricated. This unites the enlightened Buddha's mind and our mind. All the negative obscurations are fully purified. Meditate your mind as the nature of the space. The next dedication prayer. Through both the innate virtue and the virtue accumulated in the 3 times by all in samsara and nirvana, may I and all sentient beings feeling space, none left out, realize the co-emergent ultimate reality and attain the final state of non-abidance in existence and peace. So if we could meditate on this, and chant the mantra and receive the empowerment, it will really give us great support to understand the Dharma teachings and penetrate the nature of the reality nature and our mind, especially our mind itself. Because all that our mind then dissolved at the end, at the non-abiding state, the full liberation of the mind, free from all the boundaries, and meditate there often, and in the morning, in the evening, and also like especially at the time of death. If we have good support, if you have good other realization meditation practices, of course you can use those as well. But in case this you can do, simply just is so concise, profound, short, and receive all these blessings, and your mind abide in that nature, inseparable of your mind and the Jigten Sungmun, which means all the Buddha's mind, and that is your own nature of the mind. And definitely it will bring great result. Okay, thank you. And now Yes. So this morning I related a short description, the second, third, fourth Vajra statement, which Buddha taught as it is, as the reality nature, not as something Buddha created. No, that's why it's called Buddha is not a creator. Buddha said, I explain you the reality nature, and you are your own responsible for liberation. Because we have the Buddha nature, and we have all the abilities. So connection to this, to all, I compiled one very short text. It's called Permission and Prohibition, their mode of abiding. Actually, we should say permission is the prescription, and prohibition is the proscription. You know, these two words. Prescription is like when you see the doctor, medical doctor, then doctor will diagnose whatever problem you have, will prescribe you need this kind of medicine to get help. So same thing, Buddha prescribed all the practices we need to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. Prescription, okay? And proscription is, we are suffering in the samsara. What are the causes of the suffering? So prescribe means don't repeat the mistake again. We have to go forward. Don't stuck there. Don't stuck in the samsara. And go forward. So prescription. So prescription and proscription, those two words are very, very important. The doctor can help us to diagnose and give us a right medicine, if possible. So Buddha, as like a doctor, Buddha sees all the nature of the samsara and the cause of samsara, and such great compassion. The Buddha was overwhelmed by the suffering of the sentient beings, and then taught the Dharma teachings. So how I can help to these individuals in the samsara? Kind of say, such a powerful wisdom, seeing all directly in the samsara, the suffering, and then compassion. So with that, giving us all these teachings that, this morning I have explained briefly from this GONGCHIK, the Sattva Dharma Rasa Eka. You remember that? Then the translation in Sanskrit, Sattva Dharma Rasa Eka. Sattva Dharma, the holy, the precious, the pure Dharma. Rasa Eka, the one taste of all. So Buddha, this title is very important. The prescription and proscription and their mode of abiding, how things abide, how things lie, as it is in the relative state, in the absolute state. So he's kind of some abbreviated but complete. So I'll read this and then we'll explain. It said, may all be virtuous. I respectfully pay homage to all the Lama, to all the Lamas. Here Lama means teacher, includes Buddha, from Buddha to all our lineage masters until our root teacher, Lama, who have mastery over the object of knowledge, who are completely understood first the various subjects, all samsara nirvana, which is, I should say, the causality nature, or the cause conditions and their manifestations, and then that of the past, present, future, and then as they're on that their nature itself as the emptiness. So within in emptiness, then manifesting all this various knowledge, subject, phenomena. See, like in the space is empty. Because of space is empty, then it has a space to manifest all the planets, galaxies, stars, everything. They manifest from space and they dissolve into space. See? Objects of knowledge. Embody compassion. It's not just wisdom. Most important is compassion. There are some individuals who are so wise, has a great knowledge, but doesn't have much compassion. So that doesn't connect with us. We connect to Buddha because of Buddha's great compassion. Just the Buddha's compassion just flow like a water. So that makes its connection with us. Embody compassion. A friend to all the migrants because of their compassion. Buddha is the friend of every sentient beings, protectors of all the sentient beings, and ensure unmistakably what is to be adopted and what is to be abandoned. So out of wisdom then shows us the path without any mistake, pointing us the nature of the samsara, the cause of the samsara, and then how to get out of this step by step towards the enlightenment. That that's to all the cause of suffering. This is the cause of suffering. You should avoid prescribed. This is the cause for peace and happiness, and taught us how to practice prescribed, abandon. For you fortunate ones with a sincere interest in the Dharma and an open door of intelligence, so those we who are very fortunate, which will come precious human life and met the Dharma in this life, we got opportunity to take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. It's totally such a great fortune we have. So to those, and also has such a mental capacity to understand the reality and nature. To this, I share this advice on what it is to be practiced and what is not, in accordance with the causality mode of abiding. How things, as I mentioned, they abide, they relate, how they manifest according to this. Then we'll write down a brief this instruction. This excellent body support with its 8 leisure and 10 endowments, Now most of you know what this is about. And the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, and also many other books. In my case, the transformation of suffering, as well a complete guide to Buddhist path. So those books. Then the advice by the Gonzalo Michelon in these many precious books, I explain about this. The 8 lectures and 10 endowments. With the 3 faiths, the faith of confidence, the faith of trust. You trust causality, karma. So all the suffering is come from non-virtue. All the peace and happiness come from virtuous deed, karma. So we fully trust about that. Then the faith of longing. We long or wish, want to free from samsara, desire to attain complete enlightenment. Then the faith of clear means the Buddha is the perfect, who's the perfection of all the obscurations and perfection of the excellent qualities. This and the Dharma is the teaching, the actual, that what we take refuge and get the benefit. And then Sangha, so this one who has a clear faith. So we need these 3 faith from the mind, physically the 18 qualities, mentally the 3 qualities. Enables one to attain unsurpassable enlightenment. When we have that kind of conditions, then we have every opportunity, to see all the real nature of the samsara and the enlightenment, and then we can make effort to free from samsara, cause of suffering, and to achieve enlightenment, the Buddhahood. So contemplate the allegories and an analogy and so forth of the difficult it is to obtain, and so we just contemplate this precious human life is difficult to achieve. Even though in this world there are 7 or 8 billion people, but how many are interested in the Dharma study practice? And then those who really taking time to practice full is very few, not many. That shows it's rare. And those practicing, how much benefit they are getting. So that's because of precious human life. One has all the opportunity and has the ability to do so. Henceforth, engage in the essence of the teaching. So we just follow to practice the Dharma teachings. First, of course, we have to hear the Dharma teaching and then contemplate on that. The most important is put into practice. If you don't practice, just only hearing, there's not much medicine. Like if you understand all the medicines, but if you don't take the medicine when there's a problem, then it doesn't help. So we need to practice the Dharma. Means purify our mental obscurations, delusions, to get the benefit. Then this is just contemplating on the precious human life. Now, see, step by step, we can understand precious human life is so crucial, require to study, practice Dharma, and to free from samsara. All appearing existence phenomena are of a momentary by momentary disintegrating natures. So all these things, that composite phenomena, the outer, the mountains, the rivers, the land, the ground, the trees, you can see how much they're changing, moment to moment. Then look at our own life, human beings. We are aging every day, every moment, getting older and older. And then, that's the reality nature. So it's no one's belief, but it's reality nature. So we have to acknowledge this. Then when we get older, sometimes we may say, I will practice Dharma when I get older. Right now I'm young, so I'd have no time to study, practice Dharma. But when you get older, you cannot see, you cannot hear, then physically cannot meditate well. Physically pain here and there, mentally not so clear to capture the meanings of the Dharma. So it's that whenever you are connected to Dharma, it's the time to relate, study, practice the Dharma. More you practice Dharma, we get the benefit. So therefore, need to contemplate on the impermanence. It's very important because we know it is impermanent. We get up in the morning, and then the day passes. Morning, noon, afternoon, evening. So day passes like that. Like the river running, never stops. We're aging every day, every moment. So this. That shows that it has no essence. There's nothing to grasp. Look at the beautiful flower. When you first buy the flower, it's so fresh, fragrant. You pay, you pay the money to buy the flowers. But then after some time, the flower fades, get old, becomes smelly. Then you throw in the trash. No essence, no matter how the flower is beautiful, no matter how much you paid, it's all, at the end, it goes to the trash. Throw in if there are some individuals who can make a compost, then you put together, make a compost, and then you take to the farmland and then grow other fruits or vegetables. Otherwise, it's all in that nature. When you are young, very capable, we can run, we can walk, we can work, anything we can do. But when you get older, then physically incapable, even walking, it's not so easy. It's very difficult to get up, difficult to sit down. See this nature. I'm not saying everything's negative, but we have to be very practical, our life, how it goes. So why I'm saying this, is the previous great teachers that taught us it is for the Dharma study practice. When you have Dharma, then it is worthwhile to contemplate on this and use this human precious life in the best way. Because at the time of death, you age with the dignity. You get sick with kind of a joy, and When you die without fear. So this is the purpose. That Dharma study practice gives us this kind of opportunity. That's why we need to reflect carefully. Otherwise, it's just talking about how to depressed. When you get old, then you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot eat, you cannot digest. Then it's depressing. I don't like to hear about this. You see. Yes, if we don't have Dharma, then useless to talk about that. Just enjoy every minute when you have. But when you have the Dharma, this is how to prepare. Because our mind is so stuck in the samsara. Our mind is, other days I mentioned, in there. So our this called inveterate propensity. So it's called a sticky glue. So difficult to get out of that glue. So stuck in the samsara, So we need a powerful teaching to get out of that sticky glue, the habitual tendencies. Because if we are stuck in that sticky glue, then there's no time to free from suffering. We just repeat the suffering again and again. Then day after day, year after year, life after life, no way to get out of this. For this reason, we need to reflect on this, When Milarepa, everyone knows Milarepa, we should really have, saying he gives us such a great example how he practiced successfully. His father was very successful businessman, built a very beautiful house, very elegant, beautiful house in that village. So then his father died, and then somehow his uncle and aunt tortured the family. So Milarepa left for good to take revenge, to practice the black magic. So Milarepa then went, and he was very successful practice of those, and successfully took revenge. So his aunt and uncle, their house, all the farmlands are just destroyed. But then Milarepa, he realized that he made such a heinous karma, negative karma, and then if he felt if he died with this karma, then there's only one way to go to the hell realm, no other alternative. So he convinced his mind, and then he looked for great master who can teach him. Finally, he found Marpa, and then under the guidance of Marpa, he received all the complete teachings and practiced successfully. He received all those teachings. Then he returned to his homeland, wanted to see his mother and sister. But when he returned, his mother died. His sister scattered. The beautiful house was like haunted. So then it reminded him about the impermanence. Then he made such a beautiful song there. When the father was there, I was not there. Even my father and I made together. There's not much thing to do, no essence. When mother was alive, I was wondering. When the son came back, the mother passed away. Even though mother and son meet together, there's not so much essence. When the sister was here, the brother is not here. When the brother come back, sister was wondering. Even though sister and brother meet together, there's not much essence. When the house was there, the owner was not, the owner was wandering. When the owner came back to the house is haunted. All the birds, these are just nesting. So even the house and owner is there, not so much essence. Now I realized how everything is impermanent. I must go to retreat, practice. So he just stayed at the house just with only 1 week. Then he left for the retreat. So that with such an understanding of the impermanence, there was an urgency of for the meditation practice. So he left for the retreat. While he was in the retreat, there was very little provision, food for him, very little. He was eating nettles, these things. And then one day he has one clay pot to cook the nettles, taking his clay pot on his hand and walked on the road. The trail is very rough because there are no human beings going around, So he stepped on the rock and fall down, and then the clay pot was broke into pieces. At the first moment, he has that clay pot, said, "This is my pot where I cook the nettle." Just in the second, the pot was broke into pieces. And that impermanence is so kind of fresh. It's like a magic show. It's like the, I should say, mirage. And that moment, the impermanence reminded him is so powerful that he was so grateful to receive the teachings. So this breaking the clay pot became such a great teacher to Milarepa. He said, the pot is just there and broken. That gave me this such powerful teaching of impermanence. So this is the only wealth I have now in my life. He doesn't have other wealth. And that broke in that moment. And this signifies this is my body, human being. All the composite phenomena are signified this way. So I'm so grateful receiving these teachings. Now I will meditate more, better, ever before. So like that, everything becomes the teaching, Dharma teaching. When you walk, you see it's impermanent. You're walking, it signifies impermanence. You are sitting, it signifies impermanence. When you're eating lunch, it signifies impermanence. Everything is a teaching practice, you see. There's nothing to attach to. You may have such good tea, but as soon as you drink, it's finished. So there's nothing to attach to. So impermanence is a teaching which helps us to purify our attachment. It will help us to purify our aversion. That knowing, awareness of the impermanence itself is the wisdom. So having that wisdom then gives us this teaching of the impermanence, purify to all these our mental afflictions. So look at these, meditate. Impermanence, sometimes we may think is negative, but it's not negative. It is the reality nature. Everything that which is composed is finally disappear, will go. No? So reflect on this, meditate. We don't fight each other. No? Live harmoniously, peacefully, and make your mind more flexible. No? All our arrogance has no place. So they are only cause of suffering. Purify those. Support each other, help each other, meditate. Whatever time we have, be useful. No? So that's the impermanence is such a precious teaching that we need to reflect off and on. No? When you meditate on impermanence, then it's like you see, look at the running river. In our gross mind, we will say, I saw this river last year. Or sometimes we'll say, I saw this river yesterday or this morning. But whether it's last year or yesterday or this morning, what we saw, the river is gone. It's gone to the ocean. What is seen now is different from this, what you saw. It's all just beating the time, every minute, every second. You know? So look at this. So if we investigate in between now, past, now, future, past, and you don't find something is exist. Something is exist there. No, you cannot find something is exist there because it's just constant. So that the constant nature of the flowing, we don't find anything is exist. So that non-existent nature is emptiness. At the same time, you see the river. You see, inseparable, that what you see and what is non-existence is inseparable. So, but we need good meditation, relaxed meditation to find it. So impermanence is not a simple thing. It's very powerful. When you realize that you are born in this world, then we realize one day we'll die. When we realize one day we'll die, we understand the impermanent. Once we realize everything is impermanent, then as I mentioned like this way, you realize everything is nothing but emptiness. No? So see this nature, reflect. That's it. This is not something we believe. It is reality nature. How it abides its own nature. See? So that's what's called the moment disintegrating nature. Know oneself and all others to be impermanent. So we should see all in that nature. Myself is in that nature. We are in the same boat, others and oneself. Everyone in the samsara, human beings, non-human beings. Within this state, we all desire for peace and happiness. No one desires suffering. And then there's a sense of loving kindness, compassion. When there's love and compassion, there's a peace, there's a harmony. Itself is virtue. Then from there, we desire to free from samsara, attain enlightenment, Buddhahood. So reflect on this, meditate on this. So when you could do this, every moment is the meditation, reflection. Every moment is the opportunity to purify our obscurations. So strive in the changeless and sublime Dharma. So nature of the Dharma never changes. Virtue is virtue. Virtue can never become non-virtue. Non-virtue is non-virtue. Non-virtue cannot become a virtue. It's changeless in its own nature. Impermanence is impermanent, always in that impermanent. Everything constitutes within in the causality, interdependent, connected each other. Because of this, then it's called changeless, in emptiness. It's all, you can say, integrated, interrelated. So meditate on this. See, these all are just meditation. Follow into practice. There's so much teachings about impermanence, but this is what I said are just brought into essence. You see, and reflect on this. That will help us to reduce our attachment, grasping, fixation. In the past, so many great teachers who have meditated on the impermanence in this way got such a great benefit. Then next is in causality, karma and result. All these appearing phenomena which brings happiness and suffering. Say that if I have this, I'll be so happy. If this go away, I'll be so happy. Or if this go away, my suffering will be less. There are some you can see in your life. The conditions with the house, conditions in the house, what you have, with the people. First we buy things for, if I have this, I'll be so happy. I can do things easily. But after some time, it makes you boring. Oh, this brings me suffering. I need to get rid of this. I don't like this because I'm not happy with this. It brings me suffering. Then it brings suffering, and it takes time to get rid of it. When I should get rid of this, today, tomorrow, when, And also different people, when you meet first time, oh, that person is so beautiful, so wonderful. I'll be so happy if I stay with this person like this, But then after some time, when you meet again and again and again, then brings all the suffering. Then you have a hard time to get rid of that person. So this all, you see, is one thing. It shows how everything is impermanent. Second thing, it shows us how everything is conditional. Everything's conditional. Nothing is permanent. You see. So, arise from the basic character, inexorable karmic causalities, inexorable, infallible. All these things you see. Whatever we do, it becomes a cause. Cause to bring either happiness or suffering. So we need a wisdom to see that. or whatever we do something, it will not become a cause for everything, will not become a cause for peace and happiness, or everything is not become a cause of suffering. Every individual has distinctive effect to create such a cause and condition for peace and happiness. So this is called karma. Sometimes we say something wrong things happen in our life. So this is my karma, something somewhere made up, somebody came into your life, saying this is my karma, without realizing every moment is the cause for the peace and happiness. So it's very important. Every moment, every second is the cause for peace and happiness. Therefore, we need mindfulness, awareness. So, having said that, see, we have to be kind of, we have to understand every time is opportunity. So to having that, we need the wisdom to see things precisely. And then we need having wisdom, that mindfulness and awareness to understand that. Otherwise, sometimes when you do something, so you may think, what this make the difference? There's some very brilliant person who have such a smart mind, and if you kill like a mouse, the mouse is destroying your house, or what's called terminate. It's got terminate, which destroys your house, a mouse, so I need to get rid of my mouse, terminate all this, because it's taking exterminate, so what it makes, what it makes the non-virtue to kill that, it's okay, Then you see, it shows we don't have special insight in the mind. We don't have an ability to see the virtue and non-virtue. This is something very important. Many people in this modern time, they don't have that kind of wisdom. So really, what's the virtue? What's the non-virtue? It's very dangerous. When we understand the virtue and non-virtue, then there's a lot of space, opportunity to explain what is right, what is wrong. If we don't have such a mental, that capacity to see the virtue and non-virtue, then we have no space to talk about the virtue and non-virtue, which are the root cause for peace and happiness. So just peace and happiness is something external thing. You need that. Not realizing internally how to cultivate, create such conditions. So those who have understanding of the virtue and non-virtue is very precious. It's a great gift in our life to have that. Says, yes, it makes sense, really to ourselves, and then to share with others. So you know, there's 10 virtues, 10 non-virtues. So avoiding 10 non-virtues. Just to say, like a rapper, you know, this who, you know, those are the thieves. They call non-virtue because even we have the law, you know, so those who rappers, the rapperies, then they're put into jail, prison, you know, like those, because it destroys the peace and happiness in the individual's life. So relation to this way to understand something, you know, the virtue and non-virtues, meditate on this. As mentioned, it's not a religious belief. No. Those who are virtuous practitioners, it's nothing to do with the spiritual something. It's reality, nature. No. It's a practical approach, a way how to bring peace and happiness in our daily life. So we have to kind of pay attention on these things are very important. Otherwise, sometimes when you study Dharma, you know, we look at the very profound philosophy, you know, all those are good things. But first we have to know in our daily life how to relate to our practical living life. What's called right livelihood, you know. So, inexorable karmic causality. With a fully pure wisdom eye, so we need a wisdom eye to see that. Be unmistaken with regard to the acceptance and rejection. See, we need such kind of wisdom eye, what to accept, what to reject, what to accept, you know, what to practice, or what to adopt, you know, all the virtuous deeds, and what to abandon, the cause of suffering, physically, mentally. This is the, there comes also, you see, precepts, you know, there, as this morning I briefly mentioned, this it's called lay precept. Then, you know, novice monks and nuns precept, and full ordained precept. So the relation to this, just, you know, how important it is. I used to tell this story. If I repeat again, there are some maybe newcomers can get the benefit. This Tubabishi, as called for harmonious friend. Many you have heard of that. It goes back many centuries ago. Near Varanasi, there was a place called Kashi, yes. That time, I think it was a big state. There was a king, and then the people, of course, and a dense forest there. So in the forest, there are 4 animals. The monkey, no, first elephant, then monkey, rabbit, and bird. You see, there's a lot of, usually we have those painting or drawing, you know, very popular. Sometimes they use as a gift, you know. So these 4 friends. So in that area, there's one spring water. So they come to drink the water. So these 4 animals, they meet often or every day when they come to drink water. So they meet, since they meet every day, they become a good friend. They know each other, drink the water, and they discuss, talk. Then after some time, the bird said, now we are so harmonious, we are so good friends, wonderful. Now, if we know who's older and who's younger, then we can respect the younger one, the older one. Then the elephant said, maybe I'm the oldest, because there's a tree, look at the tree. The first time when I remember, the tree is my size. The elephant, the baby elephant, this maybe, no. Then the monkey said, in that case, looks like I'm the older, because when I remember, the tree has a few branches. Then rabbit said, oh, in that case, I'm older. First one I remember, just only coming up from the ground, sprout, few leaves are just coming. And then the bird said, in that case, I'm the oldest, because I ate the fruit from other tree, and then I shed here when I came to drink water. So the seed from my shed is now fall on the ground, and from there, this tree have grown. Okay, so you see the picture, you can see the big tree. Next to the big tree, you can see the elephant. On the elephant, monkey. On the monkey, rabbit. On the rabbit, you can see the bird. So that's how they become very good friend and respecting each other so well. So that way, some years pass. Then the bird said, now we're so kind of peaceful, harmony, and maybe we should do, what we should do is we should keep the 5 precepts. And this elephant and they said, what are they? The bird said, not taking life, not stealing, not sexual misconduct, and not telling lie. And that time, of course, there's no alcohol, So say, let us trust the causality, karma, So let's trust this. So these 5 precepts. Then they all agree, that makes it better. It's more kind of respect each other, more friendly. It's much better. So they kept that, get used to that. They understood that, and it really makes sense. Real way how to make harmony, peace. Then after some years, then the bird said, no, it's not enough. We just keep them. It's selfish. We should share to all in the forest. Everybody in the forest, if they practice this, will be much better. Okay, how we should do that? Then the bird gave the wisdom. The elephant, you have a tongue, so you should take the responsibility. All like tiger, lions, and all this who has the fangs, So you should teach to all those animals. And monkey, you have fair, so you should teach all those others who has the fair like you. Rabbit, you should teach like in your family, and they like the deer, so forth. and I will take responsibility to teach all the birds. So then they agreed to that, and they're so happy to do that. And then they kept busy going round, sharing that wisdom to all others. And then the whole, that country becomes so peaceful, And when that becomes so peaceful, then you see the rain falls in time. There was no drought. Harvest was beautiful, successful. Everything grows so beautiful. All the fruits of that country, that people of those animals can survive eating those all the fruit, because there was no drought, no drought, and so that power effect also felt people in that country, the king, the ministers, the people, subjects, everyone. So the king thought, oh, that's wonderful. There's no sickness, no disease, no famine, no drought. Everything grows in time. So the king thought, because I rule the country with my compassion, because of that. All the people thought, oh, because we kind of so obedient with the king. Whatever king said, we followed. Because of that, this may be. Otherwise, who could be, So then inside, in the mountain, there was a great meditator. For many years, he was meditating there, has the clairvoyance, can see things. So then that meditator is called Rishi. He told to the people in the country, these all wonderful things, what is happening, good weather, no drought, no famine, all the fruits growing perfectly, all the harvests growing perfectly. It's because in your country, there are 4 animals, friendly animals. It's because of their deeds effect. So they all know the king and all the people so curious what they did. And then the meditator explain to the king and the people in the country the 5 precepts. So then everyone is so inspired. So even the animal can do these things. Why not we human beings can do? So then the king told all the people to follow this 5 precepts. So for many years, the country enjoyed all those prosperous, luxurious life, happy, peaceful. So this is, you see, this is the account. This is the one story. So there are many. Now so they're saying, the Pastor Church said, they're saying, this whole planet can provide enough what they need. The whole planet can provide enough what the people need in the world, what we need, but the whole planet cannot provide to satisfy even one greedy person. The person who is so greedy, the greedy person, if he owns this planet, not satisfied, he will look another planet, so more planet. So no. Otherwise, what we need, just food, clothes, to live this life, to sustain this life, and live harmoniously, will be so peaceful. So that we learn from this story. That's what's called causality. Inexorable causality brings the effect in the world. What we do, what we get. You see, it's such precious, these things. So there are a lot of other stories, but this is just one example. That's what's with the full pure wisdom eye, be unmistaken with regard to acceptance and rejection. Practice this meditation. This is very profound. The causalities the Buddha taught in the Vinaya, actually Vinaya is practice for everybody should do. It's all about the causality. As mentioned, the prescription, what is Buddha prescribed, what to do, what the Buddha prescribed, what not to do, based on the causality. It's not just monastic discipline, it's the discipline to every sentient beings. Sometimes we say, we are not monk and nun. We can do this. Then when you come to the suffering, we won't say, we are not monk and nuns, so I can suffer. See, we say, I'm not monk and nun, so I'm suffering more. Why not? Why I'm suffering? Please help me, I need some help. Time flies. We're supposed to stop here?
We have an extra 30, right?
Oh.
We started at 2:30, so right?
Excuse me?
Another half an hour is okay. Yeah?
It's good?
Right? Is it?
We start late.
Ah.
We start late.
Oh, right. And you call it and you should check also. Half an hour more. Okay. Doesn't matter. So how do you like the way the teaching is going on? It's good? Yeah, we need this, you see. Instead of they believe this, that. Instead of that, what we can do, what we should do, what's the reality check, Yeah. Okay. If you have any questions, something, just let me know. What we thank you. Looks like everyone is realized. There's nothing to ask, any questions. So I'm very happy to see this, you know. Next is now first is touch the precious human life. Okay. So now this as mentioned, this causality. So we precious human life has the ability to understand the causality. So that's precious human life. We have ability to see the causality nature, and we have the ability to follow accordingly. Those others who have no understanding wisdom, first of all, they have no ability to capture the meaning of the causality. Second, they don't have the ability to follow the path. You see, so you should see when we have this precious human life, always appreciate, rejoice. Okay. Just reflect that I have done something good. Because of this, I have this opportunity. So now I will do better. Go forward for enlightenment, not stuck in the samsara. Then next is reflect on the suffering. As this morning I have reflected, I have touched the subject a little bit, but here I read, no one high or low, rich or poor, educated or uneducated, here in this state of cycling through the three worlds, means the vicious cycle of the samsara, leaves the land of suffering, strive in the uncontaminated and sublime Dharma. See, reminding the Dharma practice. Just as a human, in the human realm, actually we have all the 6 realms of suffering. Just reflect, you see. I have related that few times, but just to remind, sometimes there's excruciating pain, like back pain. There's some people inject in the spinal, Have you heard of that? No. Pain is so much you cannot handle it. So there's some people inject this in the spinal so that there's not much pain. So like that kind of thing, such a pain physically. So you try everything. Sometimes mentally tortured so much. Like the suicidal, those are mentally tortured. So those doesn't discriminate, those rich or poor, educated or uneducated. Sometimes we say ignorance is a bliss, When you are ignorant, then you cannot think so much. One time, yes, I was talking about the suffering. There came one man, he said, when you talk about the suffering, we are suffering more than the cat in the house. The cat is sleeping, so joyfully, in the sofa, he admired the cat than his precious human life, So what a kind of wrong thing, But we have these things, So look at this, like those excruciating pain, physically, mentally. It's like in the hell realm. And then there's, you see, some you feel very stingy in your mind. If I eat this, if I use this, what should I eat tomorrow or this afternoon? I don't have much left. That's kind of feeling of such a uptight, stingy. It's like suffering of hungry spirit. And then sometimes when you like chant mantra or sitting, said you say, what I'm doing here, you know. Then you're sitting there and say, this is wasting my time, It's stupid what I'm doing here. It's like the animal, Doesn't make sense. So mind follows like that. And we human beings, as you see, we're aging. As I mentioned, when you age, then you cannot see precisely, clearly. You cannot hear the sound. You cannot taste the food as used to. When you're young, the foods are so delicious. It's called scrumptious, But now you don't experience the scrumptious nature of the food. It's like food is just dull, dull. But you eat anyway, just to live. So like this, aging, then decaying. Like tree, if you look at the old tree, then there's not so many leaves there. So then you see that time when you don't have dharma in your life, then it's so depressing. You work so hard in your younger life. Day and night you work hard to make life easier, so successful. But then when you get older, this all decays. That's why I work so hard. And you see, when you have dharma, see, this is what it's called aging, getting old. Know what I have studied. Now is the dharma to apply in my life. My youth, when I was young, I was very talented. I was beautiful, but now no longer. My face is wrinkled. It's called grimace. You know the grimace? What's that mean? So we follow into that. And frowny face. Then there sometimes we go to surgery, It's called plastic surgery. Try, try. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. When it doesn't work, then it's, looks awful, worse. So we say, this you can see, it's very obvious, very clear. So instead, if you practice Dharma, practice loving kindness, compassion. When you practice love, compassion, bodhicitta, you are always beautiful. You are always respected. People love you because you express your love, compassion, bodhicitta. No? When you look at the Milarepa's drawing, so skinny, you see, like say, greenish color, but people respect Milarepa so much. We don't say, oh, he's a skeleton, we don't like him, we don't say that. But just say, Milarepa said this, Milarepa did this. That shows the inner, these qualities express to others for joy, peace, happiness. So we need to focus on this. They are so precious.
There are two questions that came in.
Excuse me?
There are two questions.
Two questions. Go ahead. What are they?
Okay, so one is, they said, Dear Rinpoche, our home is eating.
Huh?
Sound a little high a little bit.
Yeah, their house is being eaten.
My hearing aid is not good.
Oh yeah.
You want a mic?
Okay.
Will this reach?
Yeah, mic. So that other can hear as well.
Yeah, that's great. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so they said their house is being eaten by termites. Knowing fumigation will kill many termites' lives, they're hesitant to do this, and they were wondering if you could give them some guidance here.
Dire?
The
Guidance.
termites,
Guidance.
the bugs eating the wood inside their house.
Yes.
Yeah, what to do about that?
Yes, you see, that's the dilemma.
Yeah. There's one more.
Yeah, it's not easy, samsara, Very difficult. What to do? See, we don't want to kill the termite, but we don't want to keep them. Now what should do? If possible, move to another house.
But the people move in will kill them.
Yes.
Other coma.
No, that yes. That's another dilemma, Yes, So that's why first, very important to keep our mind. See, our mind, individual's mind, my mind is responsible for myself. My mind is not responsible for you and everyone, My mind is responsible for myself. So I have to, since my mind is responsible for myself, I have to be very careful what I do. First, in the first place, it hurts. If I make mistake, it hurts myself. No one else care. And then, if I do good things, I get the benefit. No one will take away that. There's no need to fear. Okay? So, we should understand that. And yes, first we invade the land, others, and then they come to invade us. So what we should do? Some people say, the ants, they say, ant is coming on, digging all the now. So first we invaded their land. So now they're coming back to, so what we should do? Either we should kill them or let them kill us. So this we have to, I don't have a direct, clear answer for this, but we have to, individually, we have to contemplate carefully. So we are the responsible for ourselves. What's the next?
Okay, the next one is a question about with Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's, and how can they free themselves from suffering?
Huh?
Is
How
there-
to make
how to free themselves from suffering?
From
With
suffering.
Alzheimer's, what to practice? Yeah.
again that you see Alzheimer's disease you used to have in the past, but it's more and more coming. No, it's I think it's first of all Alzheimer's, dementia, dementia, Alzheimer's. This due to, I think many cases, I should say, not all, many cases is due to hectic life. Our life is so hectic. Lot of things are what's a deadline, and so then there's a lot of what you call anxiety, and then sometimes this one word I have now, it's traumatized. When we are a lot of traumatized, trauma in the life, these things sometimes some really cause a painful sickness, excruciating pain. There's so these I think create such kind of environment that we forget more easily. When your life is so tired all the time, and then those things, then we forget. And Alzheimer's disease and dementia comes. Because then we take a lot of pills, you see. So pill like I think like this sleeping pill. If you take a lot of sleeping pills, that cause also dementia, Alzheimer's disease. So that's why when we are young, practice loving kindness, compassion, meditation, mindfulness. These are the real great cause. At the time when you have Alzheimer's, then maybe not so easy because it's becoming too late. But when you are younger, those time to uplift yourself, loving kindness, meditate. Just say, every now and then, may all sentient beings have happiness, may they free from suffering, simply attain enlightenment, Buddhahood. Say those prayers, meditate off and on, and then you just feel in your heart, and then try to keep your mind more peace, calm. These are the best solution. Now, before this Alzheimer's disease comes. That's why I say nowadays, I think everywhere now, mindfulness is very important. So then everyone encourages to practice mindfulness. There's a lot of distraction, you see. The smartphone, you see. Then some people, not only one smartphone, maybe two, one here, one in the pocket, Then it's just difficult to catch up each and every there. Then this lot of distractions, all this, and then you forget. Then sometimes you forget your keys in your hand. and they are looking for key, you know. Where you see, so these things. So, as I mentioned, these are not just religious training. It's the reality nature, how to keep your mind calm, peaceful. So, loving kindness, compassion, and then bodhicitta, and then relate the mind resting. These are the very said, very good cause to reduce Alzheimer's disease, dementia. Yes, then?
Two more.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, the other question is, how do we know what practice is right for our level? How do we know what practice is right for our level where we are? If they don't live close to a Lama, how do they know
What
what's best?
practice?
What's best for them to do?
What's the best called?
Specifically for each person?
If they don't know what to do, like what practice to do, how do they know what is best for them at the time?
Best practice, you choose what's the best for you. Best practice, you see, for everyone, watch your breath. Beginner or senior, anybody, In the morning when you get up just when you get up in the morning, breathe in all the blessings of the enlightened beings, those who are compassionate nature, those who have great wisdom. So breathe in all their good qualities into you and pervade your entire body and mind. And breathe out all these negativities of your mind and the body. Do this 3 times and relax. Take few moments, do this. Then, as I mentioned, during the day, off and on, just reflect. As I want peace and happiness, as I don't want suffering, may everybody have all the peace and happiness. May everybody free from suffering, including those individuals who hate me, who create obstacles to my life. May they also have peace and happiness. May they free from suffering. Everyone may achieve enlightenment, total enlightenment. When you suffer, my suffering that I have, which gives me this great pain, difficulties, have a sufficient power, ability to purify all the suffering of the sentient beings. So these things you can do in your daily life. No. Then as far as they are chanting mantra, visualizations, that is, you can choose whatever you like. But what I said, this thing is general, that everybody can do. That's it?
No, there's a couple.
One more, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Somebody that did actually kill the termites in their house, they were wondering if there's a sadhana practice or something so they can have a higher rebirth. The termites that were
They
executed.
killed the
exterminated.
termite.
Yeah.
Now, if there's any practice, what?
Yeah, a certain practice that could help
To help what?
the termites.
Termite.
Yeah.
I don't know. Termite, you can help termite or you help yourself. Yeah, it's as I mentioned, samsara is a state of confusion. Okay, we should understand that. Samsara is a state of confusion. Very difficult to get out of, you see. Our attachment confusion and our grasping. No, this all is something. Yes, all this. Yes, okay. You can say, of course, you can chant any mantra if you know. May this termite and may everybody, including this termite, free from suffering, free from that kind of life, may be born in a better life, say, born as a precious human life. You can say those prayers. It doesn't hurt, If it doesn't help, it won't hurt. So those prayers. So it's very difficult. Then what else? Any?
Yes.
That's it?
No, there's more.
One
okay.
more, yes, go ahead.
Just one more?
Yes.
Okay. It was about stinginess. If somebody is poor and they can't give very much, they're kind of asking, kind of about that, about stinginess. And
Yes.
But being poor and not being able to give much.
Yeah. You can say, you can see. First you practice. They're saying, everyone, I think everyone knows, giving is receiving. Giving is receiving. So you give is not wasted. But when you learn how to give, then you give without expectation. Just my practice, this, what I'm doing, this giving, bring peace and happiness to this and everyone in the world. And by this effort, may everybody free from samsara and achieve enlightenment. Give that way. If you give that way, then your small practice can bring such a infinite amount of virtue, you see, because you are giving, maybe giving to one individual, but in your mind, this individual represents all the sentient beings in the samsara. So because that I give this small amount, may everyone have all the peace and happiness. May everyone free from suffering, and they may achieve total enlightenment. You just dedicate that way. No expectation, no reward. So you first, those stingy one, first give small one, not too big. If you give big, then you may regret it. I gave such a large, oh no, I don't have much, So give what you can, a penny, a few bucks, okay. So just give what you can, and then dedicate. Then you just rejoice yourself. I'm so fortunate I could do this. So every time when you do this, you rejoice. So then you inspire to give more and more, relaxing, and that way you are giving. First of all, you are practicing the. So then also see, if you read the Madhyamika Avatara, Chandrakirti said in that, in the text, the world, everybody needs the wealth. Without the wealth, there's no happiness. Happiness is come from the wealth. The wealth is come from the practice of generosity. Said, you see. So in Buddhist business is practice of generosity. More you give without expectation, but out of bodhicitta, no attachment. If you give, then you see, just as mentioned, to achieve enlightenment, and that you are providing all what you give, it brings the joy, happiness to others' life. So you see, this is a Buddhist business, not taking advantage of others. Usually in the samsara, we take advantage of others. How to make profit from others. Then we're creating suffering others. You become rich, become billionaires, and others have no food to eat. So it's sharing. Buddhist giving means sharing what you have. The king shares what the king has to his people in the country. The rich people share what they have to the poor people, So it's such a beautiful practice, Then everyone has something, to their life. See, otherwise, some are so rich, billionaires, and some are so poor, even they have no food to eat lunch. It's too extreme. So there's no happiness, there's no peace. Even those billionaires, they have so much, but when they see people who have no lunch to eat, how they can live their life. They are so rich and the other have no food to eat. How they can enjoy their life. Not so practical, So Buddha taught how to share what we have to others. Okay, any more? One more, yeah, go ahead.
How details on what and how to purify.
How to purify what?
How to purify themselves the best way.
How
to purify.
How to purify what?
Yeah, purify themselves through practice.
Themselves.
Yeah. So
maybe make a big bathroom, then take shower. Purify. Bathtub, bathtub, they stay in the bathtub, then, wash. I'm just teasing. First, look at the mind, what kind of limitation you have. Then reduce those, as I mentioned. Look at the impermanence. Everything is impermanent. If you have strong attachment, they just say there's nothing to attach. Reduce the attachment. Just I gave example of the flower, a very beautiful fresh flower. Within a few days, the flower will fade. So everything's like that. So look at this impermanence and purify your attachment. Reduce the attachment. And our body, you see, so we are cherishing this body so much. It's just a skin. Underneath the skin, some flesh, then blood. Under the blood, the bones. There's not so much essence is there. No? It's all just nothing. There was a story at the time of Buddha. A very beautiful monk was walking, and then a woman saw the monk, and she was very attached to the monk. The Buddha came to know that. Then Buddha understood how Buddha can help that person, the lady. Then Buddha said, look at the eyes, Buddha said. Underneath the eyes, what you have? Eye wax. Okay. The beautiful eye you have, underneath the eye wax. The beautiful ear you have, inside the ear wax. The beautiful nose you have, inside the nose, the nostril. All the, coming in front of the nose, The beautiful mouth, look at the mouth inside, all the slavas, all these things. So as soon as the Buddha said this, she totally realized and she achieved the arhat. So these are the purification you can do, purify your attachment this way. Anger, you say when you are angry, upset, you say this person is so nasty, And then you say this person is suffering, so much suffering is there. So I don't have to give suffering. The person itself is full of suffering there. So look at that. The person desires to free from suffering, but full of suffering. So I am, as a Dharma practitioner, I have the responsibility to help that person. Every sentient beings, we say prayer, all mother sentient beings. Everyone is my mother, my father, my brother, my sister. So that way, practice this loving kindness, compassion. So reduce your anger. Say prayers that person may free from that kind of suffering. So just look at these things and purify. And then, of course, there are practice, if you do, it's called Vachasattva practice, purification. There are so many things, other things. But these are general. You can apply in your daily life to keep your mind more peace, calm, relax. Then what? Any more questions?
I have one question.
What is that?
Last one. Okay. You mentioned the Angulimala story before he killed 999
Yes.
people, and then he was. Can you hear me, Rinpoche? Okay.
I can hear you perfectly.
Other people can hear me. All right. And so he was pretty fortunate to have met the Buddha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get the arhatship in one life.
Yeah, he was, yes.
I'm just wondering how, because Buddha taught some people Mahayana, some people he taught to become an arhat. So would that come from the person's own side, or would the Buddha have just decided, oh, this person becomes an arhat? Or how is that decided, actually?
That is not that complicated, It's called, if you know Tibetan, Wangpo Rap, Wangpo Ding, Wangpo Tama. It's called the capacity of the individuals who can digest the about the amount of the teachings, how they can digest, and the inclination, the interest. There's so many, the elements of the mind. So Buddha can see precisely. So Buddha gave teachings according to their capacity, what they can capture. This Buddha doesn't give randomly, without, without knowing, say, you take this, Buddha gave exactly that person what that person can need, what they need. Yeah. Eventually, everyone has to become Buddha. From Arhat, Sharavaka Arhat, Partik Buddha Arhat, slowly, they have to attain Buddhahood because they have Buddha nature. Buddha nature is the ultimate, the seed they have to achieve the Buddhahood. Okay? Everyone is good? That's wonderful. Now today again, please take a deep breath. Exhale. Release all your stress. Then in your mind, say, may everybody, all Mother Sentient beings, have happiness and causes of happiness. May every Mother Sentient beings free from suffering and causes of suffering. May they swiftly attain complete Buddhahood, enlightenment, and that you should feel in your heart. You are saying this not just intellectually, from the brain, but you should say from your heart. So I feel this. I'm doing this from my heart. Okay. Then dedication prayer.
By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Trikumpa Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
I thought you said this dedication prayer.
Okay.
Now it's okay. Thank you, everybody. Okay, please relax. Okay, sleep with these all teachings. Okay, don't leave all the teaching on your cushion. Hasta mañana.